Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. I love hearing from you. My phone updated, and I have a Samsung Galaxy S9. And now with the update, I'm on Sprint. With the update, I have call screening, which I thought was only available through like the Google Pixel phones. But apparently there's a Sprint and or Samsung version of call screening now. And I'm excited. And the reason I'm excited is because I don't have voicemail. I have a cell phone. I think that's obvious. I've had a cell phone my entire adult life, but I don't have voicemail. And for a very specific reason. I don't listen to them. My voicemail message used to say, you know, I didn't answer your phone because I'm busy. I didn't answer the phone because I'm busy. You can leave a message, but I won't listen to it. It's something to that effect because I never listen to voicemails. I hate voicemail. And so I canceled my voicemail a while ago. It just never occurred to me that I could call Sprint and say, hey, can you just turn off my voicemail? And yeah, they can do that. And it's very freeing. I grew up with no voicemail. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. When everybody had a home phone, and not everybody could afford an answering machine because they were stupid expensive. But so if somebody called, and we didn't have caller ID, so if you weren't home when the phone was ringing, that's it, right? That was if you called somebody and they didn't answer the phone, well, that was it. You just hung up the phone and went on with your life. Whereas today, it's this expectation that you saw my call, I know you did, you heard my voicemail, I know you did, and I don't like being held to that sort of thing, right? I've never owned a house phone in my adult life. I've only ever had a cell phone. Never once had a home phone, a house phone. I think I had a pager when I was in high school, and I got my first cell phone when I was in the Marines. So, I've always just had a cell phone. And for most of that time, I had voicemail, especially in the early days when texting was really expensive or just completely unavailable. But now that I have texting, now that I have internet in my pocket, so all of my email accounts come to this phone, I have social media channels to communicate with people. Voice is just not a way that I want to communicate with anybody. I hate it. When I see somebody calling me other than a few select people like M, if M calls me, I'm usually excited about it. But if anybody else calls me, it's like, ugh, I don't want to talk. I hate it. Please don't call me, And I realized that for the vast majority of people in my life, they too have cell phones and they could just text me. And I prefer that. So I canceled my voicemail. And I think now if you call my number, you just get a message that says something like voice mailbox not found. It doesn't say, I thought it would say something like this user doesn't have voicemail or voicemail not set up for this number or whatever, but it doesn't. It just says voice mailbox cannot be found. And I'm fine with that, just as long as I don't get some thing and then I have to hear about it later, like, oh, I left you a voicemail. And you might as well just throw a tissue into the wind, Like, I'm much more likely to catch that than to listen to your voicemail. And maybe I'm terrible, and maybe that's part of my whole avoidance, problem, where I try to just kind of turn away from things that are causing me issues. But I think it's helped me to kind of shake off some of the anxiety of being beholden. I don't like being beholden to people. There are persons that I like being beholden to. There are my children and M. And my parents, I like being beholden to them because those are people in my life that are very important to me. And it's not to say that my friends aren't important. My friends are very important, but I don't like being beholden. Like as if, why didn't you answer the phone? I left you a voicemail. Why didn't you call me back? I'll get to you when I get to you. I'm sorry, but I have a life and I have a family and I have children and I have to balance all of that while trying to maintain relationships, and it can be very difficult. So I'm excited for call screening. Is where this all came from. I hope it works. I haven't got a chance to try it yet. It started to set up and then just never kind of finished. So we'll see what happens. But most of my friends know. Just text me. I'll answer your text. I think I don't like going through the whole ritual of a phone call, because a phone call is never like you pick up the phone, the person asks you a question, you answer them, and then you hang up. There's some sort of weird, like, we have to have greetings, we have to say how's things going, we have to beat around the bush till we get to the question, and then we have to have some sort of closing conversation. Whereas texting can be very much literally just like, hey, are you going to be doing this thing? No. And that's it. That's the entire conversation. And that's all the conversation needed to be in the first place. But if you made that a phone call, it turns into this 3-minute exercise that really just sucks. Maybe I'm just a hermit. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I will see you tomorrow. Today's episode was brought to you by the word acculturation, the process of adapting to a different culture. Just because sushi makes me queasy doesn't mean I'm opposed to acculturation. It's a noun. Acculturation. ACCULTURATION.